All right, we have the top 5 locations for first-time home buyers. Greg, this is huge because spring's coming, with great thaws about to happen, and all these beautiful new homes are going to be listed very soon, and all these first-time home buyers are going to come out, from their caves that they've been locked up in because of the awful winter we've been having, and they're going to be ready to buy their first house. Let's give them some advice on where to go to find that first house, Greg. Number 5.
Yeah, just the criteria that we used here was under $250,000 in home sale price and under. That's where we were thinking as far as first-time home buyers to target. Now, if you are in a situation where you can afford a more expensive home, then there are other places to target. But kind of specifically for this exercise, we were looking at places that had a median home sale price of under $250,000, because that's where we're thinking that first-time home buyer, that's a good target to be at. There's enough inventory in that target range, and you can get a solid location. So that's how we were going about it.
Absolutely. Great point, Greg. And all 5 of these places I would live in a heartbeat. Like, they're all great communities. I love visiting each and every single one of them.
I have lived in multiple of these, in fact.
Yeah. So you're going to be a great asset.
40% of these I have personal experience in.
Let's see. I've worked in one and lived in another, so I'll be a little bit of help. All right, you want to get right into it here? I'm going to reveal number 5.
Do it.
It's going to be Solvay, New York. Give me that Solvay Electric, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the big things is that Solvay Electric is not using National Grid, totally different. So if you listened to the podcast last week, we're losing our minds about our electric bills. That is not what's happening in Solvay. So if you're in Solvay, you get Solvay Electric. You are paying much less for your energy bill. Also, it's very common you'll see electric baseboard heating for houses in Solvay, specifically because the electric bills are so much lower. It is an efficient way to heat homes. So the median home sale price in Solvay is $223,000. And if you're looking at a map of Syracuse, it's just to the west. If you've got the center of Syracuse, you go a bit to the west, and you got like Tip Hill, and just west of that is where Solvay is. So $223,000 median home sale price. You've got Solvay Electric. Now, there's a couple of drawbacks to Solvay that I want to note. So one of them is the lot sizes tend to be very small. This is the same thing with Tip Hill. When you go Tip Hill to Solvay, you've got houses that are very close together, and the lot sizes are very small. So if you're someone who wants some land, this is probably not going to be the ideal area for you.
But if you want a small lawn to take care of with your little electric battery powered mower, now we're talking.
Very wise.
Turn it into
and then the other one is just the parking situation in some parts of Solvay are a freaking nightmare. So it's the same topography as Tip Hill, which is very hilly. And so you see a lot of one-way streets and hills going everywhere. And, you can only park on one side, or some streets have no parking at all. The houses are close together, so a lot of houses don't even have driveways. The parking situation can get very chaotic in Solvay. So those would be kind of the 2 things I would flag. But Solvay, great area to target as a first-time home buyer.
Yeah, I can't stand going to places where they got the odd and even thing going on, but I get it. It's a necessary evil. We live in Syracuse. They got to plow this half of the street somehow, right? So you got to have all the cars moved to the other side so they can plow that.
All right, here's what I don't get though, Eric.
Okay.
And there is an answer. I just don't know it, and I've never known it. The plows plow in the middle of the night. Okay. If I park my car on the 12th, and then in the middle of the night it turns to the 13th, do I park on the even side or on the odd side?
It is 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. is the window. So
okay, so that would be an even then.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's both. It's even and odd. 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. is both even and odd.
On an even day. Yeah, I know. Damn it, now you're confusing me. All right, you roll up to the sign and it says, odds that you are allowed to park on this odd. On odd days, you are allowed to park here from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then on the other side, it'll say, on even days, you're allowed to park on this side of the street from 6 a.m. So it's basically when you get home from work and it's an odd day, park on that side of the street. Park on the odd side. Does that make sense? You're scratching your head.
It doesn't. I got to admit, because every 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. contains both odd and even.
You're right. I know.
There is no 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. time frame that does not have both an odd and an even.
I'm sorry. I am confusing myself too. It says 6 p.m. odd to 6 p.m. even. That's what it'll say. And then the other side will say 6 p.m. even to 6 p.m. odd.
Okay. I will tell you how I have done this
that was
in
terrible.
my life is I just look at where the cars are parked. I look at where the cars are parked, and that's the side I pick. I'm going with the crowd. If we're all wrong, then we're all wrong. But I look at that sign and I go, I don't know what that means, but I see all the cars are on this side, so that's where I'm going to park.
Well, I mean, half the time, that sign is covered in snow anyway. You won't even be able to read it if you wanted to. So, yeah, I think you're right in that. Just pick the side that has the cars on it, and don't pick the side with the car that hasn't moved all month that's like buried in the snow. Don't pick that side.
Yeah.
Stay away from that car. All right?
Unless that's your car.
Yeah. Oh, and I just wanted to explain Solvay Electric. Some people might be thinking, oh, what is that, a company that just sells super cheap electric? Take that away, Greg. You want to explain that? I know it's owned by the village, from my understanding, correct?
Yeah, so the municipality of Solvay runs it. So, like, you show up to, like, the town office to sign up. But, Solvay Electric is not the name of the company. It is electric provided by, I believe it's the village of Solvay or the town of Solvay.
Yeah, it's the village.
Whatever.
So you have an extra village tax to pay in Solvay. So I guess we should let the people know that. You do have an extra tax on your tax bill, a village tax, but you do have that Solvay Electric.
And I believe you come out ahead because the taxes, generally the taxes are still lower in Solvay than much of the Syracuse area, even with that extra tax on there. And then your savings on the electric bill are significant.
Right. And it's the idea behind it is, like you said, municipality owned. It's not owned by a for-profit company. So they're able to just produce and give your electric for much cheaper. All right, let's get into number 4. You ready?
I'm ready.
It is East Side. East Syracuse, New York. What do you got to say about East Syracuse, Greggy? I mean, I worked there at 2 companies.
Oh,
so
I didn't
add
realize
a little
there were
bit
2.
here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you've spent some time there. So East Syracuse is one of the places I have lived. I rented an apartment in East Syracuse after I sold my first house before I bought my second. But median home sale price of $236,000. Now that's for the whole East Syracuse Minoa School District. So some areas of East Syracuse are going to be quite a bit higher than that. Some are going to be lower than that. But you can easily find homes below $250,000 that are in good condition, good location. Amenities are close by. You know, you can hop on 690 and kind of get anywhere. It's close to 481. So it's an easy place to live and kind of get where you need to go. It's also an excellent place to house hack. The main area of East Syracuse, there's a ton of duplexes and triplexes that were kind of mid-century that are very solid, or maybe a little bit older than that, like 1930 to 1950, in that range. But multifamily, you can live in one unit, you can rent out the other, or if it's a 3-unit, rent out 2 units. Great place to house hack, and still quite affordable. The taxes are going to be a little bit higher because you're East Syracuse Minoa School District, so you're going to get those ESM taxes, so it's not going to be quite as low as the Syracuse City school taxes, but it's still pretty affordable. And as far as the suburbs go, it's essentially the most affordable suburb.
Yeah, and yeah, you may have the smallest Wegmans, but it's still a Wegmans, right?
There is a Wegmans on James Street.
I love that Wegmans.
I do too.
It's small, but it's great.
I was there all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got everything you need. What else could I say about East Syracuse? I got the Cliffs on Fly Road, which I'm sure you frequent, right? Because you love your gas station pizza.
The Cliffs on. Yes. Okay.
The Cliffs.
Yeah. I was imagining like diving cliffs or something, but no, the Cliffs on Fly Road is legit. Yeah. And actually, their breakfast pizza is like Burn Dairy level of breakfast pizza at Cliffs.
Oh yes, and
when we do the gas station pizza rankings, Cliffs will get some. They'll get some love.
They'll get some love. They'll get some love. And then you can check out the natural wonder Cliffs of East Syracuse.
I was like, is this Ithaca? What are we talking about here?
What are we talking about it? All right, number 3. It's Eastwood, right near East Syracuse, right? So where are we on the map for East Syracuse, and then compare it to Eastwood, Greg?
Yeah, so they are right next to each other. So Eastwood is west of East Syracuse. So if you're going from the city of Syracuse and you're traveling east, you would start traveling east, you would be at Eastwood, then you keep going east, and then you get into East Syracuse. So it's kind of in between the city center and East Syracuse, and it's north of 690. So it's that chunk north of 690. South of 690 is where you see like that Salt Springs, kind of Lemoyne type of area. But north of 690 is Eastwood. Now the prices in Eastwood, this is like not a hidden gem anymore. Everybody knows about Eastwood now. Like this is not one where you're not going to sneak up on anybody and sneak an offer in on some awesome house that no one else noticed. It is a very popular area. Prices have gone up dramatically.
Yeah, what happened?
I think it's just like I don't even know. The houses are in very good condition, right? There's not a lot of dilapidated houses in Eastwood, and so it is just like the quintessential first-time home buyer type of area, where it's like easy to get on 690, like it's easy to commute places. And so I think it's just like one of those areas that the values were low enough that it made the most sense for people to buy there. So yeah, that's my best explanation for why. But I mean, even in the last like 2 years, like you used to be able to get small houses in Eastwood in good condition for like 160, 175. Now it's like for a 3-bed, 2-bath, or 1.5 bath, like you could be 240, for a nice one. They're really like starting to push into the mid 200s, but it's just walkability is great. Like you see people walking their dogs all the time there. Great little neighborhood. It's got like a neighborhood vibe to it also. You walk around, you say hi to people, like that type of thing. And even after the appreciation is still like much more affordable than many of the suburbs. And it's Syracuse City school taxes. So your taxes are going to be quite a bit lower than many of the suburbs.
Oh yeah. Fantastic place to start and build your home journey. Start there, maybe live in there 10 years and then move out.
Yeah, keep it as a rental too. Don't even have to sell.
Yeah,
great
point.
Place to own rentals.
Great point. I want to shout out Shifties in Eastwood. Maybe East Syracuse would actually fight for that, for ownership of that technically, but no.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at a map, but yeah, it's okay.
Yep. Best wings in Syracuse. That might make people mad, but
I was going to say we might have our first controversy on the pod.
I'm sorry, best wings in Syracuse. Get the Frankensteins. And then there's the Wedge. I haven't been there yet, Greg. Have you been to the Wedge? Do you know what the Wedge is? Do you know what a wedge is?
No, to all the above. I don't know the Wedge or a wedge. Now, I've heard rumors that this is a cheese-themed establishment.
Yes, sir, it is.
And I've also heard that when you take a wheel of cheese, which is the full circle, and you are to cut a piece of it, that is referred to as a wedge of cheese.
Yes, I was joking.
And that's...
Before the show, Greg, I said a wedge, like a wedge of cheese. He's like, "Oh, what? A wedge of cheese? What's that?" He had to be taught. Why isn't it called the wheel? Well, I guess it could be called the wheel, but this is
if it was all the wedges together form a wheel.
That's correct. You would make a wheel of cheese. Very good. So you're learning. Essentially, what we learned is we both got to go there. A lot of people talk. I mean, if you're big on Where Syracuse Eats, is like the huge Facebook group of people that talk about restaurants in Syracuse. I know the Wedge probably comes up pretty frequently. I mean, cheese-themed restaurant, how could it not, right? I mean, cheese-themed cheese plates and cocktails and all the good stuff. So yeah, we got to check that place out sometime.
Yeah, maybe we should do a live pod from the Wedge.
From the Wedge. Yeah, the owner would love that, I'm sure. Hey, we're just going to show up with these microphones and start shouting. You cool with that? You're going to be. People are going to be flooding in here in no time, trust me.
Yeah. You thought you were busy before. Just wait.
Wait till these idiots start screaming in the microphone. All right, number 2 is near and dear to my heart. Lyncourt. Greg, what is Lyncourt? It's not a village. I've been told Lyncourt is a hamlet. Is that accurate?
It's a hamlet or an omelet, one of the two. But it's no, I'm actually not sure. It does have a school district though, which I did not realize until I started doing real estate that was a thing, because I would look in the MLS and I'd be like, Lyncourt School District, like I grew up here. How have I never heard of this before?
Right.
And apparently it's only K through 8. And then I believe actually, do you have an option to go to either East Syracuse or Cicero North Syracuse?
Yeah, you have an option. I forget what the options are.
Or is it Solvay maybe?
I believe it's Solvay. I believe it's Solvay.
Okay, so Solvay or North Syracuse.
And I believe it's Solvay and ESM.
Okay. It's not North Syracuse? It's got to be North Syracuse.
Don't quote me on that. Dude, it's weird.
We got to cut this part of the pod.
The whole thing is weird. The whole thing is weird. Yeah, we'll answer that. We're going to have to do
show up next week and we'll have an answer to where the Lyncourt students get an option to go after grade 8. But yeah, so there's a K through 8 school district in the omelet of Lyncourt.
Lyncourt.
But yeah, so Lyncourt, like I think of Lyncourt a lot like both like Eastwood and our number 1 pick. They're kind of all lumped together in my brain. Now Lyncourt also touches Eastwood. It's kind of north of Eastwood. So like it kind of makes like an arc north of Eastwood, and you can drive straight from Eastwood, and it's like you almost don't realize that you're now in Lyncourt. It's a very similar area. Now the taxes, though, because it has a school district, the taxes are quite a bit higher, and I believe it is one of the highest tax rates in all of the state of New York.
Yes, Greg, I had to look that up one day because I could not believe it. I'm currently paying those taxes. Let me just be frank. That's why I had to look into it. If we're talking about tax per $1,000 of assessed value, so let's pretend, your house is assessed at $100,000, they like to break down their tax rates in terms of dollars per $1,000 assessed value. So you had Lynn Court was sitting at $29 currently per $1,000 of assessed value. So if you have a house with an assessed value of $100,000, you are paying $2,900 in school taxes. If you compare this to the rest of the state, that number, $29 per $1,000 of assessed value, that number is the second highest school district tax in all of the state of New York. The rest of the top 10 is all downstate. About 8 of which of those schools in the top 10 are all on Long Island and elsewhere in the downstate area. And number 2 is Little Lynn Court in the Syracuse area.
You could have given me a lot of guesses, and I wouldn't have come up with that. Like that is crazy.
It's quite literally shocking when I read that.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, that does impact affordability in Lynn Court relative to places like Eastwood. So that if you can get a $200,000 house in Eastwood or a $200,000 house in Lynn Court, it is going to make a meaningful difference in your mortgage payment to be in Eastwood and not have to pay that Lynn Court school tax. So while we're kind of joking about it, how absurd it is, that really does matter. And honestly, Lynn Court might be number 1 if it wasn't for that tax situation, because the median price there, I wasn't able to pull it. You can pull it by zip code, but the zip codes are not neat and tidy like that.
No.
But I would just say anecdotally, I see houses all the time under $200,000 in Lynn Court that are like perfectly livable, 3-bed, 1.5 bath, like nice, solid houses. And I see them under $200,000 all the time. So like without that tax problem, Lynn Court might be the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and I don't want to keep piling on Lynn Court just because of taxes. I swear we are going to say some good things about it very soon, but I do want to keep on the taxes real quick. Is you need to find yourself an agent like Greg and I who will will show you the tax records of the homes you're looking at so that you can get a better understanding of what you're going to be paying extra per month on top of your mortgage payment. And this is another thing I wanted to mention, Greg, is why when you are a home buyer and you just get your pre-approval through somewhere like Rocket Mortgage, a national lender that has no idea anything about property taxes in our area, you need to get something local and tell them, if you were able to tell them, hey, I love Lynn Court, I want to live in Lynn Court, I want a house in Lynn Court, what can you loan me for a house in Lynn Court? And then they can take that tax into account, right? And give you a better understanding of what you can afford for a monthly payment, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so we do have specific lenders who we will recommend. And, just to be clear, we don't get any kickbacks, and it would be illegal for us to get kickbacks for recommending lenders. So just to make that clear, but we do have ones who we specifically recommend because they do things like this. But just in general, if I was going to give a big blanket rule for lenders, small local lenders are always going to be better than large national lenders. And that's where anytime I see a pre-approval letter and it's from a large national lender, I just know the customer service is going to be bad. This is going to be a loan officer who does not specialize in New York, never mind Central New York, never mind Lynn Court. So it's just, I'm going to have my work cut out for me. I'm going to have to do a lot of the work of the loan officer here to get this across the finish line. And so that's where, please, reach out to us if you want specific recommendation on lenders. But small local lenders are always going to be better than large national lenders.
100%. And I mean, at the end of the day, keep your money local, right?
Also that.
Okay, let's actually wait. One more thing about taxes. I'm so sorry.
I actually have another thing too. So yeah, you go first. And then
So Lynn Court, I just wanted to explain to the people why. What is Lynn Court K through 8 school the best? Surely they have the highest test grades, right, Greg? I mean, surely this school must be incredible. The lunches, maybe the lunches are incredible.
Gold leafs on all the
exactly
microwave pizza.
Yes, everything's garnished. It's amazing. No, that's not the case. The reason is because it's a K through 8 school, so it's a smaller school, but you still have a superintendent to pay. You still have all these teachers to pay. You still have a bus system to pay for. And look around Lynn Court. It's a lot of residential properties, right? There's not a lot of industry. There's not a lot of commercial businesses in the Lynn Court area. It is such a small
all the property
area.
Taxes are coming specifically from whatever, 80 homes. It's more than that, obviously, but
yes, they have to get it from somewhere. Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to mention that there
is
a
economy of scale
high.
is working backwards, right? Because like your superintendent in Lyncourt is still going to make a superintendent salary. Just because 100%. It's a smaller district doesn't mean the superintendent's going to get paid a tenth of what superintendents generally make. So your economy of scale is just all kinds of screwed up, right? The bus garage still has to run the mechanicals on a bunch of buses. So it's like you have to have full-time employees to run a school district. But if you don't have the property taxes to support it, each individual homeowner's got to pony up more.
Got to fund it somehow, right? So someone's got to pay for it. All right.
And then my last thing on the taxes, this is not specific to Lyncourt. This is actually just when you are searching for homes, this is why it's beneficial to reach out to us and let us set up a search for you, is that the software we use to do it is going to take the taxes of that specific house into account when it's estimating your mortgage payment. The large national brands, and I'm not going to name any, but the big ones you think of when you go to search for a home, they are not giving you the individual tax rate on the specific house. They're giving you a generalized tax rate for the area, and they are comically inaccurate. So when you're looking and you're estimating your mortgage payment using any of those large websites, they are making some assumptions about your down payment, they're making assumptions about your interest rate, and they're making assumptions about your taxes. All three of those are very likely not even close, right? Because their goal is to try to make it look as affordable as possible. Eric and our goal is to try to make it as accurate as possible. We are taking this from two different perspectives on it. We want to give you the numbers so that way you know what you can actually afford. The other ones are just trying to get you to say, I can afford a house, here I should, give my information. So just don't trust those online big websites for estimating your mortgage payment. That's where you need to reach out to someone local, and I can run a mortgage calculator for you. And again, the software we use that's going to send you listings is going to have the exact taxes for that specific house uploaded and taken into account.
Absolutely. All right, let's actually say some good things about Lyncourt. Does that sound good, Greg?
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
Okay.
That didn't even occur to me. It's our number 2.
Yeah, it's our number 2 after all. I just want to say my first house was in Lyncourt, and I'll never forget a neighbor was walking by while we were looking at the property, and he used the term pocket of peace. And that has always stuck with me. Lyncourt is absolutely a pocket of peace. It is so quiet there. Like you said, you mentioned dog walking in Eastwood. Wonderful place to walk. You do have 2 massive, I remember he specifically pointed out the 2 massive graveyards right nearby, which, okay, a little morbid, but also
neighbors are quiet though.
Feel free to walk around those areas though. Like you said, it's going to be quiet and peaceful, and it's a very clean area, and everything you need is right nearby. You have plazas right nearby. Like I said, sidewalks throughout. It's just a great little community. And then I gotta shout out some of the places there to eat, of course. Lyncourt Bakery, are you kidding me? Wonderful place to go and get a nice loaf anytime. Freshly baked bread, cookies, you name it. And then you have, Lucky Sevens right up the road. Everyone loves Lucky Sevens. Greg, have you been to Lucky Sevens yet, since you love your convenience stores?
I have not.
My God. All right.
Next time I'm there, though. I do love convenience stores. So
they make everything.
All right, I'm there.
Cash only, though. Have some paper on you.
Yeah, so maybe I'm not there then, because I don't really carry cash. So a bit of a deal breaker.
Yeah, understandable. And then you have CJ's Seafood, which I actually never ate at, but it's seafood, fish fry, only open on Fridays. It's literally a restaurant business. It's only open on Fridays, and the cars will be down the street on Teal Avenue. It literally disrupts traffic when this place is open. So it must be good, right?
I mean, yeah, results speak for themselves.
Has to be good. Yes, I love Lyncourt. I don't know. I think I said my piece about Lyncourt. Pocket of peace. Just remember that. It's a pocket of peace. It's quiet.
That's good.
Wonderful place to live. Yeah. How dare you steal that from me? Anyway, number 1, another place Greg used to live. It's Nedrow. Greg, tell me about Nedrow. I knew only a little bit about Nedrow.
Yeah, this was my first ever house I purchased was in Nedrow. And it was actually because at the time I was teaching in Homer, which is south of Syracuse. But one of the perks of Nedrow is you are right next to 81. And so you can get anywhere north-south extremely quickly. So it was a very doable commute from Nedrow to Homer when I was teaching there at the time. Now, in addition to that, Nedrow is awesome. I don't want to steal the pocket of peace, but it's very similar where it's just like it's its own little chunk of an area. It's got a creek on one side and then it's got a big giant hill on the other. And so it really is just like, 4 blocks by 10 blocks, and that's just it. It's like retirement age people, it's young families. It's a very unique area like that. And again, the prices are below $200,000. So one of my friends bought a house there last year, 3-bed, 1-bath, maybe 950 square feet, very small, but updated everything. New roof, new furnace, new everything. He bought it for $127,000, Eric. A house that is fully updated that you can live in for $127,000. And it's right there. It's right by 81. It's quiet. It's a really strong area. Then it's got Green Hills, which is a fabulous grocery store, and the bakery is dangerous. You got to be careful.
Heard of it.
You got to be careful with the bakery at Green Hills.
All right.
Then there's also an Aldi's right near Green Hills as well. So it's like you can go to Aldi's and get like all your basics taken care of. You go to Green Hills and you get all your kind of boutique grocery store awesome stuff. And you are just living like a freaking king over there on a crazy low budget.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I posted, so in my Q1 2026 Reddit post, somebody asked for areas to target, and I brought up Nedrow. Someone replied and said, hey, we don't sell our houses in Nedrow. Go somewhere else. So someone was like,
that's funny.
Which is true. The inventory in Nedrow is notoriously low. People do not sell their houses in Nedrow very often. And part of it is for this reason. It's like, once you're there, it's like, man, my mortgage payment, now this was in 2017, but my mortgage payment was like $712 a month. If I could have, Eric, a $712 a month mortgage payment in 2026, it'd be incredible. So it's like people just don't tend to leave. If you can get a house in Nedrow, scoop it up. But it is low inventory.
Yeah, it sounded like that guy was like, no, don't tell anyone about Nedrow.
Yeah,
Keep
right.
it a secret. I don't want
any
more people in Nedrow.
No more.
Keep them out.
The Kelly Brothers Memorial Park is like right behind Nedrow. I used to bring my dog there all the time. There's got, basketball court, a little playground there. There was only ever at most 4 or 5 other people there. It's just like, it's this big open space. I'm very fond of Nedrow.
Great to have a park nearby. Absolutely. Good for the value. No, one thing I wanted to mention about Lyncourt. Sorry, going back to Lyncourt. No, it's not about taxes. I wanted to mention, and I wonder what you think about this, is all the houses on my street were built right around 1940. It was like that big post-World War II housing building boom that we had. And I just wanted to mention that all those houses that were built in around 1940, extremely sturdy houses. I mean, it's going to be on good block foundation, right? Because we're after the cement block was invented. So I just wanted to mention that they're just extremely well built. And back then, they still used plaster walls and big steel I-beams to support the whole structure of the house and block foundation. So those houses they're not going anywhere. They're just well built. They're structurally sound. So I just wanted to shout that out.
Yeah, that's actually... intended to mention that for Lyncourt and Nedrow. So Eastwood has older houses. Eastwood has some stuff in the 40s, 50s, 60s, but a lot of it is, 20s, 30s, 40s. Lyncourt and Nedrow specifically, not only are they very well built, but they're also incredibly easy to maintain because most of them are small, like, 3-bed, 1-bath, 3-bed, 1.5 bath, 4-bed, 1.5 bath. A lot of them are Cape Cods. So it was like, no roof is cheap, but a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,200 square foot Cape Cod is about as cheap a roof as you're going to find. And so in addition to the actual mortgage payments being low because the houses are affordable, the maintenance on them is very affordable, and your utility bills are going to be lower because they're not these, massive McMansions. So well-built houses, easy to maintain.
Yeah, love it. All right, that was a great top 5 list, Greg. Nice work.
Same to you.